Okay, what's up, y'all? So I am in Utah now, and there's a video that was processed right now through Kaneko, whatever that thing is. It's editing software, and I like it because it uploads faster through YouTube once you process it. It brings it from a 1080 to a 720. I gotta see if I can do that in the settings on this phone. But anyway, it converts it, and then it does something with the upload, so it makes it a lot faster. So that's what I'm using, and I'm probably using that. And once I get my other phone stuff back up, I'm gonna put that back on there because I like it. I'm probably gonna go ahead and pay for a year. You can pay for a year for the professional version. Anyway, I did 475.20 miles today. It took me 10 hours and 25 minutes to do that. And it was mainly mountain driving. I have not driven the Rockies in over 5 years. Okay, well, 4.5, 5 years, whatever it is. I've been out. So last night, one of the reasons I stopped in Denver, because at first I said, well, I had 3 hours. That's about, on the low end, 150 miles. However, because I am extremely heavy, there's about 40,000 pounds worth of frozen crap in the back of my trailer, and I'm top heavy. So I will talk about that in this video a little bit. So we're going to talk about the I-70 corridor in Denver. And actually we're going to talk about it. Yeah, I'm going to talk about Kansas to Denver, okay? And I want to talk about it for newbies or people who've never driven the West Coast. Some of you guys have never driven the West Coast. I know I got a couple of people. I think it's Saint. I think, bro, you said you drive mainly down there, the Texas area, which I love. Texas, I cut my teeth in Texas. That's where I really learned most of my driving. My first drive out from when I was with Werner was in Texas. And scared me to death. But Texas is actually a great place to learn to drive, because you're going to have curves, corners. They had tons of construction. They still have construction. You got traffic between Dallas and Houston. And if you go to, if you have to get into Laredo through, what's my place? Not San Antonio. Austin. Austin has horrible traffic. You just sit right there for about 30, 40 minutes. Let me tell you how bad Austin traffic is. Austin traffic was so bad on my way to Laredo back in the day when I was with Conway. I was able to use my Porta John on the freeway, put my yellow brake on, and go in the back and go to the bathroom, and still the traffic had not moved. I had to tinkle. So I don't keep it real. That's how bad the traffic is in Austin during certain times of the day. You will just sit. Anyway, I just had to tell that story because it's funny to me. I had to pull the middle curtain and I had to go. I was about to pee on myself. I never forget that. Anyway, I have not driven this in a long time. So I came out of Salina, Kansas, and I'm on my way to Cali. So the direction you would come, I wash my hands. I'm going to get me I have a sub in the cooler. I'm going to do that. I'm at a Flying J in the middle of no freaking place in Utah. I have never been to this Flying J. There's a little restaurant across the street I thought about going to, but hell, I got to walk over there and then walk back. And my fluffy behind don't feel like walking. So I'm so dang tired right now because I did all mountain driving, and these subs have been sitting in there for a day and a half, 2 days. Well, 2 days because I got them when I got loaded. So I got them for the night that I got loaded. I ended up eating chicken and putting them in the refrigerator because I wasn't sure if I wanted that or the chicken, and I figured they'd be breakfast. And anyway, it didn't end up being something else. Anyway, so I drove from Salina to Denver. And I did Denver East because that's where I was fueling. So I fueled at Denver East. That is a huge parking lot. So if you guys ever fuel there, it's absolutely huge. I did pay for parking because I had laundry and I wanted to be close to the door, and they had a really good spot. Otherwise I used my handy sticker, but the handy places were gone, so I just went in and paid. And I got my shower, did laundry, and I had salad bar, and they have a steak thing, so I had like whatever the cheapest steak was, like $13. So I had that, and then took my shower, and then by the time I got done with my shower, my clothes were dry. Threw those in the bag. I folded them on the truck, and then I came back here. That all took about 2 or 3 hours of my time, so I really only got maybe 6 hours worth of sleep. I mean, honestly, if I got 4 to 6 hours of sleep, I'm shocked. I didn't sleep good. And understand, a lot of people wonder, because I drive reefer, and reefer sound like a lawnmower. even when I'm at home, I can't, even before I started driving reefer, I can't sleep without noise. I have to have a TV on, something. That's, some people just sleep, I have to have noise. So when the reefer thing came, that's a perfect fit for me. Not everybody can do reefer because of the noise. I love reefer. It's lulling to me. It's noise. Anyway, try to make this not too long. I drove the I-70 corridor, and I got into, from Salina, what I always pray when I go through Kansas. Kansas is known for wind, but it also can be known for snow. But it's known for wind. So I didn't have any wind all the way up through when I got in. Now, because I am so heavy, not too worried about wind. It's probably up to, I could probably do up to maybe about 40 miles an hour gust. Once I get into the 50 mile an hour gust, that's when I'm usually have to be extremely heavy in the box, and I don't really usually drive at anything past 50 mile an hour gust. 30 mile an hour gust, if you're empty or under 30,000, I'm gonna say, if you're probably even under 30,000, I would go ahead and park. If you have 30 mile an hour gusts, you'll learn what to not drive in. But if it's 30,000, that should hold you down in gust. 30 mile an hour winds. But I didn't have any winds. Excuse me. As I was coming into Denver, you start looking for certain things, okay? Denver right now, chain law went into effect September through May. That tells you already you need to be very cautious, because you might run into snow, especially in the higher elevations, which is obviously the Rockies. The Rockies is a major trucking corridor. Everything going from the I-70 all the way through to Utah. So there's a connection. Then Utah has also a set of mountains. I almost wonder if that looks almost like the back end of the Grand Canyon. It's a canyon area, and I gotta see who that is. Maybe I'm dry because I don't think I lotion my arm too good. There's excuse me. There's I'm really dry because I don't think I lotion my arm really good. But and I also drank soda. Soda makes me itch. But I needed a little bit of caffeine, and I mixed it with a 5-hour energy because that amount was kicking my butt. Excuse me. I-70 coming through. So when you're coming into Denver, if you're a new driver, and you driving in Denver, Kansas, Utah, especially these, Idaho and them, you're gonna know. Idaho, South Dakota, those are gonna be pretty blatant. They're always usually blatant that they're gonna snow, and it's gonna be all over. Those are just really cold areas of the country. Any mountainous area, especially Mount Siskiyou going into Mount Shasta, Siskiyou going into Oregon and the Washington State area, you really need to call and find out ahead of time. And usually use 511 is your road conditions, and it picks up from the cell towers the area that you're in, okay? And then you just look for the road conditions and get whatever information you need to get about the road conditions. You also be alert, pay attention. So when I was coming in, I noticed there were clouds in the mountains west, and I was heading west. And I was outside of the Denver area, probably still about maybe 100 miles or so. And I noticed these clouds coming in, and I noticed precipitation, because you can tell when it's falling. Now, the weather is still warm down in the lower parts of Denver. It was like, 80, 90 degrees. And so it was still warm in that area. So my thought process is this is just rain. But I'm always cautious, especially during when the chain law's in effect. So what I did is our radios have weather band, and I'm also, my CB that I'm ordering, it'll have weather band also. And so this truck, I don't think it has a good antenna. It really sucks on the radio, but it has weather band on it. So what you can actually do is you can actually go on there and seek out, and it gave me the weather for Colorado. So I did know that had I stayed any later, which I didn't plan on, I was planning on leaving out in the morning, in the afternoons there were chances of thunderstorms. Okay, thunderstorms means rain, wind, and they talked about wind and all that. I don't want to deal with that. I'm already having to deal with climbing that mountain, And it's probably one of the most gorgeous drives you'll ever go through. I have some other little clips that I did up there where I took a couple of breaks to handle some stuff. Believe it or not, Ghetto Mobile had service in the Rockies. Didn't have service in Kansas, except for Salina. Didn't have current service after I left Kansas, after I left out of Salina. No service all the way until I got up into Denver, and then it had service. Ghetto Mobile. It's going to be gone soon. But anyway, in the Rockies, I did take some pictures. I took a couple of breaks up there because I just got kind of tired. And mountain driving will wear you out if you're a conscientious mountain driver. If you just one of the people just hammering down, don't care, and it's just like any other roadway, then it probably won't bother you. And good luck to you. Hopefully you'll never have an accident and turn a truck. But for me, I'm very conscientious of the mountains, and especially because the corner curves and downgrades. I am packed frozen from the bottom to the top, not palleted. And what that means is that it is piece by piece in the back of this truck. It's stacked from the floor to the ceiling, all the way from the front to the back. Okay, so from the front of the trailer all the way to the back of the trailer. It's almost going to spill out the door, and I'm praying it doesn't do that. We put a load lock up in there, so I'm really praying that it doesn't spill out, because I never seen nothing packed like this. This is the first time I've ever driven anything packed like this, I'll be honest. But what I am happy about is that I could see it, because it tells me how to take my corners, curves, and turns. Top heavy. I want to talk about that a little bit, and I'm going to come back to I-70 in a minute. Top heavy means that there's weight on the top of the trailer. So normally most of your loads are palleted, and the pallets are on the floor, and they have a level that they go, which is usually in most cases, never all the way to the top, but it could be, okay, on palleted loads. Most palleted loads are maybe as tall as I am, if not shorter, okay, and they're off on the floor. So if you took your corner and curves a little faster, big whoop, no big deal. But if you take them slower, you know, you understand your load. You understand what you're driving. That's why I say I usually tell my students, drive your load. Drive your load means drive how your load is packaged. That's drive your load. So corners, curves, and turns shouldn't be too big of a deal. Oh, I did my keys. I gotta find my keys. They in here. That's what I did with them. My key has a knife on it, but it's okay. So you drive your load. Drive how you're packed. So that's what I did, and so I did slow down, and I normally do in there, because I am top heavy. And the reason I did that, one of the starter companies I was with when I first started, I mentioned which one as usual, they were having a lot of accidents with two major customers, because those customers are known for packing their stuff top heavy. And a lot of times the people were picking up the trailers and never saw how they were packed. Which brings me to my point. People always presume that your trailer is top heavy, even if you never see the load. Drive it as if it's top heavy. That means slow down in your corners, curves, and turns. So while I was driving in, a couple other people from my company, because all they do is know how to go freaking fast, when they were coming around, they're going to pass me. Well, pass me. I don't care. Take your ass around. I take my time, okay? I don't even care if I'm not climbing a grade. Although most of the grades that I hit, because of how heavy I am, I was going between 25 and 35 miles an hour. That's pretty much my grades. And so they're passing me on these curves and stuff in the Rockies, which some of those curves are serious. Their trailer is coming into my lane. Do you know why? Because you're going too fast for the freaking conditions. You're going too fast for your freaking curve. If you're taking a curve and you can't maintain your equipment in your lane, that's a problem. And I'm not going to say I'm perfect at it, but I'm very conscientious of it, because if you hit somebody, it's going to be your fault. Your equipment came out of its lane and hit somebody. So I'm having to pull over into onto the white line and rumble strip on the right. And right now, if you come to the Rockies, there is a lot of construction, guys. A lot of damage. There's construction all throughout the U.S. Everybody doing a damn bridge. Everybody got cones up where I don't see no damn construction. And that's another thing. If I go through another construction section, I just went through one right now. and I don't see some freaking work, I'm gonna give you some work. I'm gonna throw something up there and blow it up. Just kidding. Just kidding. But I want to blow it up so y'all can have some work, because I'm not understanding why I have cones and I don't see a hole. I want to see a hole. I want to see some tore up pavement. I need to see something. I don't just need to see cones. I'm having problems with this. Major problems. Anyway, so yeah, this is pretty where I'm at. I'm not that far from 70. That much I do know. So I'm real close to I-70. I think it's the soda that's got me itching. It's got to be the soda. Because I had soda. This was this big old thing was 7-Up, and I missed some Yum Berries, something, so be water or something with it that was in a. I stopped at this place, and I'm probably gonna stop this video here because I'm gonna make part 2 to this on I-70.